every animation studio has either a masterpiece villain or a total flop. Let's go through both, one studio at a time, starting with Disney's King Magnifico.
Gay.
King Magnifico had such a promising start. At first, he's basically the good guy.
I founded this kingdom so there would be a place where everyone is safe.
He seems like a great leader here, right? But then, just 20 minutes into the film, this guy's showing us his true colors.
It's not fair. My Saba is good. The people of Rosas are good. They deserve more than...
I decide what everyone deserves.
Most Disney villains would build tension until the big reveal. Magnifico here just flipped the switch so fast we got whiplash. And then the movie decides he needs to be more evil.
I swore I'd never do this, but I'm hypnotized by how these pages flip because I refuse to have my power stripped.
Wait, so let me get this straight. The man was already king, aka the most powerful person in the kingdom. But then he decided to get possessed by an evil book for even more power? Man, the writers need to pick a lane. And I get that he was self-obsessed from the start, but he just keeps getting worse.
Mirrors, mirrors on the wall, who is the handsomest? Me!
Look, I hate to burst your bubble, but this is just giving cringe. If this wasn't bad enough, his villain song just adds a rotten cherry to the cake.
All I really want is just a little respect. And this is the thanks I get.
For Disney's 100th anniversary, I can't believe this is what we get.
Bruh.
The song sounds more like an AI-generated TikTok jingle than an evil anthem. And in the end, Magnifico's hurting the very people he built the kingdom to protect in the beginning. The motives, the villainy, it all got lost in poor writing. Unlike Disney's Scar, who screams evil and doesn't need a magic book to pull it off. This villain's got it all. The hair, the flair, and the wit. Not to mention a villain song that actually sounds like it belongs to a villain instead of a Disney sing-along gone wrong.
Prepare for the chance of a lifetime. Be prepared for sensational news.
Here, Scar commands attention, whereas King Magnifico just sounded like a whiny child.
You suck, you suck, you suck, you suck, you suck.
But what puts Scar in a league of his own is that he isn't just all talk and no bark like most villains. He actually goes through with what he says. Case in point.
Long live the king.
The guy basically kills his own brother with zero hesitation, like he's just casually moving a chess piece off the board. And to top it all off, he immediately rubs salt in Simba's wounds.
And if it weren't for you, he'd still be alive.
Scar totally earns his rep for being a cruel villain. Like, that's your nephew for crying out loud. Honestly, if manipulation were an Olympic sport, he'd take the gold and emotionally scar everyone, no pun intended, in the process. Even years later, when he returns, he's still tormenting Simba.
I killed Mufasa.
The years would mellow out Scar, but no. Time only makes him more vindictive. Every line he says is unforgettable, which, sadly, cannot be said for Illumination's Carlos.
It's called a coup d'etat, which is a French for coup d'etat.
Now, it's not entirely on Carlos. Hop came out right after the success of Despicable Me, so it pales in comparison. I mean, did anyone even remember this movie existed? But the whole premise is weird. For starters, Carlos isn't even evil in the beginning. He starts going after a job that's primarily been bunny territory.
Given these troubled times, even a humble chick could do the job.
Now, of course, Carlos takes offense and decides to overthrow his superior.
It's time for the Easter chick to rise!
And he actually means it. The guy literally goes through vigorous training just to become the next Easter Bunny. But explain to me why Carlos first tricks EB's dad into believing he's dead.
Does anyone care that that's a butterball turkey?
No, that is EV.
With a freaking turkey, mind you, before immediately revealing his true colors just a few seconds later.
You've been my most trusted number 2 for years.
Well, guess what? I am sick of doing number 2. It is our time for number 1, yeah? We the bosses now.
Even though this guy successfully stole the Egg of Destiny, the results weren't quite what he expected. In the end, he basically gets defeated by the power of drumming and a chick who loves to boogie. The entire plot doesn't make sense, and Carlos only gets the villainous energy in the final act. Unlike Illumination's Vector, who brings that energy every waking second. Somehow, he's both cinematic and like a Looney Tunes blooper reel at the same time. For me, he's the only villain who doesn't need a tragic backstory or some huge stakes. Because you know what he does have?
With both direction and magnitude. Oh yeah!
For real though, Vector may not be the most intimidating villain. Yet, despite looking like a walking meme in a traffic cone suit, he's done some real villain damage. For one, he's got a whole arsenal ready to go toe-to-toe with Gru.
Outrage in Egypt tonight as it was discovered that the Great Pyramid of Giza had been stolen.
This guy somehow steals an actual wonder of the world, not just some gem. And then he replaces it with a giant inflatable pyramid, like no one would notice the subtle change in geometry. And you know what's crazier? He just keeps it in his backyard.
I've never seen anything like this.
But that's not even the worst thing he's done.
Vector! Help! Over here!
Vector actually kidnaps Gru's kids, showing zero level of remorse.
Not so fast! No!
Sir, we're gonna need you to take a step back, please, because that's a child. Vector may be a walking meme, but under all the jokes in seafood-based weaponry, he's still a genuinely foul and unforgettable villain. His loud approach to villainy stands in sharp contrast to that of Pixar's Evelyn Dever, who doesn't reveal her cards right away. Or, well, tries not to.
But it was controlled by the screens built into his glass. You are good.
Honestly, were any of you surprised? I wasn't. Her name is literally Evil Endeavor if you say it fast enough. Pixar was too on the nose with this one for my liking. From the start, she's the only person in the entire movie who hints at not liking superheroes.
If superheroes had not been forced underground, it never would have happened.
Or Dad could have taken Mom to the safe room as soon as he knew there was trouble.
I mean, did no one else find that suspicious? And really, how's that her origin story? Like, I get it, grief is real, but she should be upset at her dad for not making the smart decision instead of blaming superheroes for existing.
What?
Even if we accept her motives, her evil plan is still a head-scratcher.
Hey, I'm using the technology to destroy people's trust in it. Like I'm using superheroes.
Ma'am, heroes were already illegal before you and your brother started this PR campaign. There was literally no need for the hypnotic screens and the monologues. And here's the crazy part. The woman would literally rather fall to her death than be saved by a superhero, just so she could prove a point.
It's the biggest piece of dog shit.
Even after Elastigirl still saves her life,
The fact that you saved me doesn't make you right.
while being petty really wasn't a good look on her, for others, it really drives up their villainy, with Pixar's Syndrome being a great example.
You sly dog! You got me monologuing!
What sets him apart from Evelyn isn't just his iconic lines, but also the fact that Syndrome actually has a direct link to Mr. Incredible.
All I wanted was to help you. I only wanted to help! And what did you say to me?
Fly home, buddy. I work alone.
See, this is what happens when you combine hero worship with rejection. Buddy didn't take that no as a gentle boundary. He built a 15-year revenge plan instead. This guy literally made his entire brand identity around defeating Mr. Incredible. He's either a fanboy or an anti-fan and no in between. Syndrome even committed superhero genocide just to get to him. And soon, he came after the family, too.
You married Elastigirl? And got busy!
Man, even when he's terrible, he's still hilarious. But as funny as he can be, he takes the villainy a bit too far.
And in time, who knows? He might make a good sidekick.
Bro really just tried to steal a baby.
Police! Help! Police!
Ultimately, Syndrome tried to reshape the world with technology and his trauma. Meanwhile, Sony said, what if the villain was an emoji?
If you have expressions other than meh, like you are, is a malfunction.
I don't know about you, but I've definitely had a boss like Smiler. All fake laughs and passive aggressiveness so strong it's suffocating. But her switch from cheerful supervisor to tech dictator happens way too quickly.
They're gonna fix me?
Actually, delete you. But yes!
Ugh, that smile. It's like it's daring you to punch her in the face. And sure, she's trying to erase Jean Meh for the good of emoji kind, but she's way too one-dimensional for a villain who lives in a smartphone. Even her running gag is dental equipment. This isn't an ad for a dental office, Smiler. Kids deserve better humor. Beyond her obsession with her smile, she has only one motive.
Oh gosh, I don't know what to do. Yes, I do.
Her entire villain arc is just launching killbots because Jean expressed a second emotion. In the Emoji Movie universe, that's basically a crime. And look, in context, her motive isn't terrible, it's just meh. But between the constant flossing and the corporate finish him attitude, you get tired of her real fast. Sony redeemed itself, however, when it gave us the Spot from Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse.
My holes can take me anywhere.
I beg your pardon?
Man, he really needs to phrase that better, sheesh. At first glance, the Spot doesn't look like much. Cool, maybe, but not at all intimidating.
Oh, Spider-Man, wow. This is real. So are you like a cow or a Dalmatian?
Yeah, nothing about this guy says villain. Instead, he's giving more goofball energy. But then the movie hits you with the twist. Miles is literally this man's origin story. In Into the Spider-Verse, he was actually a scientist working at Alchemax, the same one Miles hit with a bagel. It's crazy how one small joke became a whole massive plot point. Back then, the Spot was in the room during the Collider explosion, and instead of dying, he got mutated into a walking constellation of portals and dark matter. So, of course, his entire life gets flipped inside out. You're bound to go a little crazy. But what starts as a klutzy, awkward villain quickly evolves into something else entirely.
I'm gonna take everything from you. Like I took everything from you.
By the end, the Spot easily becomes the most dangerous villain in the Spider-Verse series, which is the exact opposite of DreamWorks' The Chameleon, who actually starts out interesting.
I'm the Chameleon.
I said don't say it!
With shape-shifting powers like that, you'd think she has more to her, but nope. As the final villain in the final movie of a franchise that gave us incredible villains, we had expectations, and she trampled them all with her tiny gecko feet.
You're gonna steal Tai Lung's kung fu.
His and those of every master villain that came before me.
So, wait. Her master plan is basically, I can't do kung fu, so I'm going to borrow everyone else's? Yeah, there's a word for that. It's called plagiarism. Like, where's your originality? I mean, Tai Lung escaped a maximum security prison using a feather. What have you done? Oh, whoa, wow, I'm terrified. And don't even get me started on her backstory.
They would say I was too small, too lowly, and that kung fu was not my destiny.
Have you seen Mantis? The guy's the size of a pistachio, but he still kicks kung fu butt. Maybe kung fu wasn't your destiny because you'd rather steal everyone else's skills than train, girl. And in the end, even when she gets her hands on the Staff of Wisdom and absorbs villain chi, she still loses. Ugh, what a disgrace. So yeah, the Chameleon was this franchise's most disappointing villain. Honestly, she should have learned villainy from her predecessor.
Part of you here, part of you there, and part of you way over there, staining the wall.
Psycho.
DreamWorks' Lord Shen is, without a doubt, the most dangerously fabulous peacock ever animated.
Jingle bell, who gon' die today?
Unlike Tai Lung and Kai, he isn't some kung fu prodigy, but that doesn't make him any less dangerous. Rather than steal kung fu like the chameleon, Shen upgrades directly to firepower. With a single cannon shot, he changes what everyone thought kung fu could handle. What really makes him stand out, however, is his connection to our beloved panda. He is Po's villain, directly tied to the deepest wound in his past. He ran a genocidal campaign against pandas, all because of one prophecy.
He would be defeated by a warrior of black and white.
But you know what the biggest irony is? The warrior in black and white very well could have meant Shen himself. Imagine losing to Destiny because you accidentally matched the color palette, and to be killed by your very own creation too. What a way to go! Regardless, Lord Shen was the architect of the most devastating event in Po's entire backstory, long before he ever threw a single punch. If not for that pivotal event, Po wouldn't have become a kung fu master, and there would have been no Dragon Warrior. When you look at it that way, you realize just how much influence Shen has on the franchise, making him one of the best villains in DreamWorks history.